Hey guys, it's Morgan, come back to you with another video about the 2023 300XC. I finally got a big tank. I've been waiting now for quite a while from IMS. They've been just trying to crank them out as fast as they can, and I didn't get way up on the line to get one. But we finally got one, and this video is all about installing it and just talking a little bit about it, and about its features, functions, and all that good stuff. So there's my bike, all normal. Of course, the jerk that owns this thing filled the gas tank all the way up. So we're going to deal with that. That's not awesome. Yeah, let me go grab the other tank and let me show you just kind of what it looks like off the bike, and then we'll get it on. There it is. There is the IMS Products tank. Obviously, it's got all the holes, inserts, already ready to rock and roll to install the shrouds and all that good stuff. Place for the fuel pump. Now, what you'll notice is it's got these two holes here because they used to be putting this, they used to have a low fuel pickup setup on this, and honestly, it caused nothing but troubles. If you guys have been paying attention to the 23 300XCs, you know that people have been buying this tank and having problems with that. Like if you crashed over on the right side and got an air bubble in there and picked it up, it wouldn't prime again. Now, I don't know why KTM's pump won't prime that far. I don't know. Anyway, but it wouldn't. So they've done away with that, and they're now just counting on the fact that the bouncing, just like KTM is counting on it, the bouncing is going to be what gets it up there. The other thing that I'm thinking is that while if there's gas way down here, it's probably not super likely that it's going to bounce all the way up and get into the pickup, at least not easily. But at least it's going to hold some gas. It's not going to be great for racing, but it will hold some gas. So if you did get close, you're getting close to running out, or you didn't run out and you'd gotten all the other gas out, you could at least lay the bike on one side, tip it over, get it in there, and then keep going, which is what I have to do on my XR, lots of other bikes. It's not awesome, like I said, for racing, but this holds more gas anyway other places. So, yeah, take a look. Let's take a real close look at what the stock tank looks like right in there. Now, let's start pulling things apart. This also serves as another way for me to just do some checking on things. If you guys watched one of our last ride videos, you saw me dealing with a blink code. Ended up being a ignition coil fault, which is kind of interesting. I don't know that I really had an ignition coil issue because the bike never stopped running perfectly. But what I'm wondering is if maybe, just maybe, one of the ignition coil wires has some corrosion or something, or it's not quite on there tight enough, and I just need to, put some dielectric grease on it. And, it just caused a real short, low voltage moment. So let's just take all this stuff off, and we'll check that while we're replacing the tank. Again, moron! Filled this thing all the way up. So the ignition coil is not what I thought it would be, because I honestly just forgot. It's this crazy thing that could definitely have a weird fault. It's that's it right there. But while we're in here, let's take that spark plug out and take a look at it. And we'll take this apart, put some dielectric grease on it, make sure it's all good. And yeah, it's dirty, whatever. You guys can jump all over me about that. Nothing else going on. So yeah, just two wires up here. So like I said, we'll take this off, dielectric grease, pop this off and take a look at that spark plug. Then we'll set the other tank on. All right, there we go. Focus. Doesn't look bad. We'll go ahead and put a new one in it. Definitely a little on the rich side, but we all know that about these bikes. Rather have it rich than lean, though. We'll grab another BR7ES, not an 8, and put that in there. Let's take a look at... There, I'm going to set you guys down. All right. That looks super clean. I'm going to go grab a little dielectric grease, though, and put it in there. And then I get the spark plug back in there, and then we're going to go ahead and put the tank on. Alright guys, so this is always the major first test, is I'm just going to see how well this thing fits. Now I don't have the fuel pump in here, so I can't run the thing. I'm going to have to take it back off, but I just want to see how well it kind of just slides down onto everything. Ah, nice. Actually, that feels really good. I like the way that fit. That just dropped right on. Super happy about that. Now, I think, so it actually needs to go just a little further. It's just bumping into, I think it's bumping into my fan nubbin. It's a little bit bigger there. I had to grind that bolt down. But I think it's hitting right here. I'm just going to get my heat gun. I'm going to heat this up and push it in. Instead of like grinding that bolt any further or anything like that. That's a trick little way, guys, to fix things on tanks if you need to. Just get a heat gun, get this really nice and hot, and then push it in. I'll show you how that works. Alright, one thing to know, guys, is that when you do this, it's going to get really hot. You don't want to push it with your bare hands. You'll burn yourself. So, a little towel. This thing all warmed up. Alright, now I'm going to see if it fits. Didn't move it a ton, but I did move it a little. We got it soft enough that the bolt is pushing it back, so that's good. That's what you want. I'm going to take our attachment here. Let's see. I don't know. I can't tell for sure if it's going to quite clear. So we're running into another little fitment problem. Now this isn't because of the fan. This one, because this, it goes down in there, but it's just a little tight. Just the nature of an aftermarket tank sometimes. Because it's really close, I put just a longer bolt than normal in there. There we go. She tightened down now. All right, I'm still not happy with the way that's fitting on with that bolt. So you know what? I have an idea. That's the bolt right there. I don't think there's any way that this fan could possibly come loose if I just take that out but leave that one in. So I'm going to take that sucker out and then we're going to try this. So hang on, I'll be right back. All right, so I took that bolt out. Now you can see that, you know, if I wiggle it, it wants to, you know, wiggle. But with the tank on there, there's no way that's going anywhere. So now I have a feeling our tank is going to fit real well. I should have done that with the other tank right off the bat. Yeah, there we go. That fits better. I like that. Yes, so. That sucked, but we got it done. All right, now we're just going to take this pump out, slide it in there. Just little 6mm bolts. Actually got them right here. One thing I actually really like about this IMS tank is that instead of just the like these plastic bolts that just go into plastic into that coarse thread, which you always run the risk of stripping out and being a nightmare, these have actually threaded inserts. Now, those threaded inserts can cause problems too. Someone's already slapping away on the keyboard right now. Oh, what those inserts suck. I get it. The inserts do sometimes suck, 100%. But if you put a little anti-seize or oil or grease or something on the bolts, every time you take it off or on, then you won't have any problems. Get your hands away from the keyboards, you keyboard warriors. It's enough. You should just go ride your dirt bike. Watch the video, then go ride the dirt bike. No arguing. Sweet. That went good. Now, I got to get the bolts and stuff because that's what it came with, all new bolts. All right. I'm assuming these are for the tank because there are 4 that look just like this, little Allens. Plug our tank back in. Quick note, guys, if you haven't watched some of my other videos, do not hit the start button when the tank is unplugged. You'll throw a code that you have to have the dealer clear. It's super annoying. They send you with these guys for to replace these guys. These little button head bolts go in there. Again, don't worry, I'll bring you guys over. Let me show you over here. You can see we got fuel pump mounted up with those Allens. We got the longer of the little button heads holding this in. Now this is going to be where this shroud hooks in. All right, then we're going to take these little washers. And they're going down. I'll show you guys 1 second. They go on the back, then the big guy, and we're going to go. So that goes right there. And that is going to be for where this part of the seat hooks. I think we're probably just going to leave bolts out of that as far as I can tell. We're going to find out because it didn't come with any more bolts. I might get some. I have some more, I think, button heads, but I'm going to install this. They definitely came with bolts for here, but I don't think they came with bolts for there. It's a little bit weird, but that's all right. No big deal. Now I'm going to do the other side. Then we'll do this, and then we'll get the shrouds bolted up to where they go on the radiator guards. And then we'll come back and I'll show you kind of what it all looks like when it's all together. All right, guys, got this all mounted up. It definitely did not come with enough bolts, but these holes, the holes that are, this one's a big one. That's for a 6 mil. The rest of these are all for 5 mil. And I have these cool little 6 mil head, 5 mil bolted bolts, 5 mil shaft bolt. Anyway, you know what I mean. These guys from my KTM box of fasteners. So those are going to go really good right there. So once I get that in, I'm going to get the other bolts, like mount the shrouds to the radiator guards, put the seat on, and we'll see how well it all fits. Then we're going to pour this gas in there. And yes, I did spill some, but not a ton. And we'll see how much more gas I can put in here after I dump what was already in there. Time to pour some gas in it. So this thing, the OEM tank is 2.25 gallons, so 2 1/4. This one is supposed to be 2.8. It's about a half a gallon more than stock, so I know that doesn't sound like a lot, and it isn't a ton, but half a gallon could mean the difference between walking and not walking. So let's see what it looks like. So that is interesting, folks. So I spilled some. There was none in here, and we're right there. I don't know if that's a half a gallon. It doesn't look like it to me. It's definitely some more, but not a ton. And this is definitely quite a bit bigger. But I don't know. That's actually pretty interesting, guys. All right. The plastic tanks will tend to grow over time as they fill up and they heat up, and they'll kind of blow out. And if you gained 2 millimeters around this whole thing, that would probably make a half a gallon, because it's a big tank. So let's see how it feels to sit on it. I've obviously spent quite a bit of time on this thing already, so doesn't feel any different. So I'm happy. It was not quite as easy to install as I guess hoped. I don't know what I hoped. Aftermarket tanks are always a little bit funky, but it didn't. It had the same struggles of any other aftermarket tank I've ever put on. Well, I guess with the exception of a Turbis on my older bike, that tank fit really well. Now, Turbis does make a tank for this bike now. It comes up even bigger up here, and I don't know. We may try that one. Comment below if you want me to try that one too. I'm going on a little bit of an adventure tomorrow, going to Whitewash Sand Dunes area to ride, and going to try this thing out. So hopefully I'll get enough miles to really test and see if we can get most of the gas out of this side. That is my biggest concern, is that is quite a bit lower. Hopefully the bouncing, just like in the other tank, I didn't know for sure if it was going to bounce up, but it totally did. Hopefully the bouncing and actually riding off-road will move the gas to where it needs to go. So now I guess let's just see if I install the tank right. There we go. Super happy with that. I'm really excited. Massive thank you to IMS. Full transparency, IMS did give me this tank for free, so thank you to them. But hopefully you guys can hear in my voice and what I've already said that I'm going to be brutally honest about this. I didn't notice a huge amount more gas, although a half a gallon really isn't much gas, actually. So this right here, this is a half a gallon. So, you know, once this grows the little bit that it probably will, it probably actually is a half a gallon bigger. Again, half a gallon isn't a huge amount, but it is a lot of miles. I would imagine I probably get, I'm thinking I get about 20 to 25 miles to the gallon out of this bike when I'm, you know, pushing pretty hard, maybe 30 when I'm just kind of trail riding. So half of that's, you know, between 15 and 10. So 10 miles of not walking is huge. I'm really happy about that. Stick with us. Stay tuned to the channel, guys. We're going to be beating on this, testing mileage, testing distance, all that stuff. So I'm going to be brutally honest like I am with every product that we test. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. And yeah, stick with us. The next ride video is coming from Whitewash Sand Dunes, which is a super, super cool place. Thanks, guys. I still have gas in the tank, but... oh, there it goes. Oh, we're so close. Ah, it's my van. I can see it.